Hey guys, it's Nevaeh and I'm here to sprinkle my thoughts on you guys today. Today's video is going to be on how to stop caring about what people think about you. So first off, you have to know who you are. And when I say you have to know who you are, I mean you really have to know who you are. You cannot let anybody else tell you who you are. If you don't know who you are, if you haven't decided who you are, somebody else is going to decide for you. Don't let anybody in your life, and when I say anybody, I mean don't let your parents, don't let your friends, don't let any family members, your siblings, anybody in your life tell you who you are, what you're going to do, or who you're going to become, or what you're going to be, how you're going to get money, where you're going to go to school, if you're going to go to school. Don't let anybody tell you anything about how you should live your life other than you and God. If it's not coming from you, if it's not coming from God, don't listen to it. For example, for me, I'm a teen mom. I got pregnant and I had my daughter when I was 16. And so many people in my family, so many people that I knew looked down on me and they were like, why is she pregnant so young? And of course it bothered me a little bit. I'm not saying that I condone or advocate for mothers to get pregnant young and to have babies as teenagers. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is if I would have allowed myself to get lost into what anybody else had to say about me, if I allowed people to make me feel like I was less than, if I allowed what they had to say or how they felt to make me feel some type of way, I would not be where I am today. That's because I didn't care what anybody had to say. Yes, I was pregnant at 16. Yes, I was having a baby young, but I knew I was going to be a good mom. I knew I was still going to be successful. I knew I was still going to go to school. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I was still going to get it done. What anybody else had to say about me becoming a young mother, it didn't matter to me because I knew that they weren't going to be paying my bills in the future. I knew that they weren't going to be buying my daughter her clothes, her diapers, or anything for her. And I knew that they weren't going to get things done for me. So why should I allow what anybody else has to say bother me? I didn't. And that goes for any of you guys. If you guys are a teen mom, if you're a teen mom, don't let what anybody else has to say bother you. If you have 3 baby daddies, don't let what anybody else has to say bother you. If you cheated on somebody but you changed, don't let what anybody else say bother you. If you did something in the past that you're not proud of, don't let anybody bother you. If you've been in 3 marriages and all 3 of them failed and you want to get married a 4th time, don't let what anybody else says bother you. What people say about you only affects you if you allow them to affect you. You could have got married 3 times and all 3 of those marriages failed, but God has a 4th person for you that he wants you to be with, that he actually meant for you to be with. And because you care about what all these other people are saying about you or how they feel about you, you're not going to be with the person that God called to be your husband or your wife. That's ridiculous. That's bonkers. You could have had 6, 7 children and not been with any of their parents. Does that matter? Does what anybody else has to say about you matter? Of course, I don't condone you just having children all over the place. But if you are a good mother, if you're getting stuff done like you need to be getting that stuff done, why does what anybody else has to say bother you? If people have been motivating you to go to college your whole life and you know your dream is to not be a college student and your dream is to work at a restaurant for the rest of your life and that's what genuinely makes you happy, why do you care about what your parents or what anybody has to say? If you want to work at a restaurant for the rest of your life, work at a restaurant for the rest of your life. Do not care or listen to what anybody has to say about you because somebody will have something to say about you for the rest of your life. The camera died, so it might look a little different. But yeah, somebody's going to have something to say about you for the rest of your life. You could literally do 99 things right out of 100 things, and that one thing you do wrong, people will talk about it and roll with it and run with it forever. Because no matter what, you could never please everybody and you could never make somebody 100% happy. Happiness only comes from within. If somebody is not happy with themselves, if somebody's not happy about their own life, nothing you can do can ever make them happy. And that also leads me into the next thing. Why would you want somebody in your life where you could only make them happy with conditions? Somebody who's only going to be happy if you're doing this one thing, or if you're a doctor, your parents are only going to love you if you're a doctor, but if you're not a doctor, they're going to disown you. Okay then, if you don't love me without conditions, if you can't love me for me as a person, if you can't celebrate me for me as a person, why would I want to be in your life? You feel me? Oh, and if you have the mindset of an entrepreneur, expect the hate. Expect people to think that you're crazy. Expect them to not believe in your dreams. Expect them to think that you should do things the traditional way, or that you should go to school, you should go to college, you should be like everybody else in your life. Expect people to think that. If you want to be different, expect people to think that you sound crazy when you believe in yourself in ways that they could never believe in themselves. Sometimes people hate on you or talk about you or talk about the life that you want to live because they could never understand it. They could never make sense of the life that you want for yourself because it's not meant for them to. It's not meant for them to understand what God has for you. It's not meant for them to understand why you want to be so different, why you are so different, why your mind is already so different, why you rather do things that most people aren't doing. They can't comprehend it. So why sit here and try to explain it to them? And why try to make what makes sense already make sense? It already makes sense, just not to them. So yeah, stop caring about what people have to say when they have nothing in common with you, when they could never fathom the dreams that you fathom, when they could never imagine a life like the life that you want to live. Stop caring about what they have to say. Sometimes when things don't make sense to people and then you finally get to where you want to be, people are like, how did you do that? Where did that come from? You were working on this the whole time? Yes, duh. I always believed in myself since day one. You just didn't. People be confused whenever you pop out doing things that nobody thought that you could actually do. And they're only confused because they didn't believe in you. But don't take it personal when people don't believe in you. That's another thing. When people don't believe in you, don't even take it personal. Because it's nothing against you. It's all them. Like I said before, if somebody doesn't believe in themselves, they couldn't believe in you. If somebody doesn't fathom the life that you want to live, of course they're not going to fathom that life for you. They don't fathom it for themselves. So don't take it personal. It's nothing against you. It's not even that they hate you or that they don't even like you sometimes. Sometimes they just don't understand. And sometimes you just got to do things when people don't understand you. And sometimes being happy means being lonely. Whenever it comes to happiness, sometimes it comes with sacrifices. Sometimes to be happy, you got to sacrifice family members. You got to sacrifice... You got to sacrifice old friends. Sometimes you got to sacrifice people who aren't on the journey that you're on, because misery loves company. And no matter how much somebody loves you, sometimes their misery and the way that they look at life and the way that they view things and their lack of authenticity can make you upset and can make you sad. So sometimes you have to sacrifice people who aren't on what you're on, who don't crave happiness the way that you crave happiness, because somebody who doesn't crave happiness is not going to make you happy. And trust me, I'm not rich, but I gotta get away from people who always talk about the money problems. And it's not because I'm not humble, because like I said, I am not rich. I am financially stable because God blesses me and I steward the money he gives me well. But I am not rich. I have struggles just like everybody else. I am a broke college student just trying to make it through. But I can't be around people who always talk about money, and money is the main topic and the main issue. Because somebody like that is not grateful for the little things that they do have. And a lot of the times whenever people talk about money, it's because they don't steward their money well, and because they don't see beyond what they don't have. So sometimes you got to separate yourself from people like that too. Because if somebody is always talking about money and that's the only thing that they talk about, but they talk about in a negative light and not a positive light, they will bring you down. And I'm not saying don't talk to people who have money issues when they feel vulnerable enough to confide in you. That's different. I'm just saying that don't be around if you know that you are trying to be successful and you want to be a good steward of your money and you want to be a good steward of your finances and you crave a better life, you don't want to be around somebody who's always talking about money this, I can't pay for this, I don't have money for this, I can't do this, I can't do this, and that's all you hear. Every single time you're with them, all they talk about is what they don't have, because it speaks to their mindset. And nevertheless, pray for them. And I don't just say pray for them like in a pray for them type of way. I'm saying literally, like, if you love them for real, pray for them. Pray that they change. Pray that God blesses them with more money. Pray that they become better stewards of their money, and wish the best for them. But know that it is okay to separate yourself from people who aren't on what you're on, because at the end of the day, when somebody is negative, no matter what it's about, it will bring you down whenever you are trying to be as positive as you can be. Optimistic people should not spend their time with pessimistic people. because you know what they're going to do. They're going to kill all of your dreams, and they were going to tell you a million reasons why you shouldn't do something instead of a million reasons why you should. But this all just boils back down to knowing who you are, knowing what you want out of life. Today my partner said something that stuck with me, and I don't know where he got it from, but he said, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And that is so true. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. You will fall for anything. And if you don't stand for who you are, if you don't know who you are, what you want out of life, you will literally fall for anything that somebody else tells you. You will fall for it. When people tell you that you are nothing, you will believe them. When they tell you can never be successful, you will believe them. When they tell you can never be a millionaire, you will believe them. When they tell you you can't make it to college, you will believe them. So, if you want to be successful, not even successful, if you just want to be you and live an authentic life, stop caring about what other people have to say about you, because what other people have to say about you will never affect you if you don't let it. But yeah, that was just me sprinkling my thoughts on you guys. Nevertheless, stay humble in the presence of people who don't agree with the things that you believe, who don't care about the life that you want. Still stay humble. Don't try to make people understand. Don't try to get people to get things that they aren't meant to get. And if, you know, if sometimes people's minds aren't open to certain things, just hope that their minds will be open one day. But don't be the person that feels like you have to open their mind to understanding you. If they're willing to listen, by all means, run your mouth like a boat. By all means, run your mouth like a track star. If somebody is willing to learn from you, let them learn. But for those who do not care, and you know that they don't care, stop trying to convince them to care about you. Just accept that they don't, and humbly go on about your life. And you know, and if you don't know, now you know. That was enough of me sprinkling my thoughts on you. Holla at your girl. Be real or be real. Mwah.